yeah, I decided not to do my 7 o'clock show and to go late instead. This fucking thing, because I do what I want. No, because hey Robin, hey Randy, um, hey Enoch, because I got sidetracked. My dishwasher in my kitchen. I was cleaning. There was a mouse that was behind. It was under my sink, and then it was. There was another mouse. There's a few mice in the house, and I wanted to just totally clean up where it had been, and I was looking behind my. I could kind of see in between the cracks of my dishwasher. I could see spider webs back there. I was like, man, I wonder if that little fucker got back there. I got a flashlight and I shined it. I could see little mouse droppings on the floor under the dishwasher. I'm like, oh no, you motherfucker. So I got in there, man, and I had to unscrew the fucking water line, right? And pulled the dishwasher out. That was not easy to do. And sure enough, man, there was fucking rodent droppings all under that motherfucker and on top of it. That fucker was living on top of it, underneath it, all over it. And there was a hole next to the cabinet that went into my next group of cabinets, down below on the floor. I was like, oh, you motherfucker. So my wonderful ex-girlfriend, before she left us, she had bought me as a gift. She bought me a camera that was on. It was one of those. I forgot what they call them. It's on the line. You can feed it in to anything, and you can see inside shit. It's really cool. And I'd never used it before. I busted that thing out, man. Charged it up. And ran it down in there and took a look, and it was totally clear, man. The thing wasn't in there at all. I was like, okay, cool, good. It hadn't gotten that far. So I took some tape, and I sealed up the hole, and I cleaned up the floor, man. And this took me a few hours, man. In the process of doing it, I took the dog outside, took him for a walk. I took edge trimmers out there, man. I was fucking trimming branches and playing with the dog. Got all that fucking handled. And thank you, Billy. Yes, it's an endoscope. Endoscope, yes. And came back inside, used the endoscope, had it all charged up. Then I took a broom and I went out here and I started knocking all the spider. I've got so many spider webs in there. I just never clean them because I like spiders. But I was like, no, you guys got to go. And I was really gentle, and they all got to run away, And I just very slowly and deliberately got rid of all their webs, and they all crawled off. And I cut the branches down that were blocking the view of the waterfall. You probably don't notice it, but there were a bunch of mullein plants that had grown up and kind of were obscuring the view of the waterfall. I did that. And I did some order. I ordered some parts for the Roxer. That's fun. I ordered what did I get for it? I got a windshield and some side mirrors, and I'm thinking about getting a front and rear bumper for it. It's got bumpers on it, but they're pretty fucking chintzy, man. They got some badass, really tough ass bumpers, man, where you could push shit with, and I plan on getting into it with that thing. It's not just for. It's gonna get used. Hey Gene, hey Brian, let me say hi to everybody. Robin, Randy, Enoch, Ron Schwartz. And I was going to eat dinner and I never did. I just worked right through dinner. I had pizza. I was just going to heat it up. I had tomatoes. I was going to slice it. I had the whole thing planned out. And I fucking just ended up cleaning all that shit, And man, you should have seen what I did. I should have made a fucking video. It was so dirty back there. I got it so clean. I got everything put back. It was all nice, man. I did good. I did a lot of work, man. And, in instead of coming and getting high with you guys at 7 o'clock. And I really wanted to do that, but I was still high from the earlier show. And I like to just kind of get sober in between each show. I like to, you could call it a tolerance break in between each show. I like to have a clear head, for a while. And I think about stuff, where I'm at and where I'm headed. Ron, Chantel, Kat, Aaron, Billy, James McGill, Daniel Padilla, hey, Robin, Billy, Brian Evans, Doc, hey, Doc, Lane, Aaron, Doc, that looks like such a sweet ride. Kathy Hyder, hello, fuck Nay, cold pizza's okay, Lane. So many pretty ladies in the chat. Just gonna throw this out there, ladies. I'm single. I thought about that the other day. I was like, dude, why don't you just tell everybody, man, you're not seeing anybody. You're just fucking single and it sucks. I'm sure my instant messenger is going crazy as we speak. I'll hold my breath. So, yeah, man, we got this going on. Hey, Dottie, call me. Oh, you're Dottie. Hey, Dottie, you call me Ben. What's up, hon? How are you? Nice to see you. Everyone calls me Nay on the live stream, but people that I know personally, I don't require that. You can call me whatever you want, Dottie. How are you? And I'm so glad that you're here. I hope you got your husband with you. Let me know, and I can address both of you guys. Her husband is all ate up with cannabis, which is, just like me, really cool. They are actually friends with Eddie Lepp. For those of you guys who don't know who Eddie Lepp is, he's kind of a folk hero around here in Lake County, where I live. And it's because years ago, about 7 years ago or so, could have been a little bit more, he had told the county and the federal government to basically go fuck themselves, that he was going to grow as many cannabis plants on his property as he possibly could. And he did. He had, I believe, 700, correct me if I'm wrong, I think he had 750,000 cannabis plants on his property. I believe it was that many. That's the story. It's like a Paul Bunyan story. The number gets bigger every time somebody tells it. You won't call me late for dinner? Oh, thanks, Dottie. Oh, good man, good man. Your husband's a good man. He's helping people evacuate from the fire. Yeah. What are we going to tell about tonight? What we going to tell about tonight? Glenn Michael Swart. ORF says period. ORF, why are you typing periods in my chat? Dottie, all 20 acres were full. Yeah, Dottie knows Eddie Lepp personally. And she probably gets all the stories, from the horse's mouth. Eddie ended up going to prison for that, for I believe it was 5 years, or maybe 10. It was bullshit. And they always were replanted within 24 hours of a DEA raid. Within 24 hours. It's a lot of people working, man. I wonder how many people he had working on that farm. My bad, Lil. Oh, what are we going to talk about? I found you on Jimmy Steph's stream, progressivenewsdaily.net. Progressivenewsdaily.net. I am so glad that you found me and that you came on here and that you said that you found me from Jimmy and Steph's stream. I love them. I love them so much. I got this, and I keep it right here on the desk. They sent me a personal handwritten note. And I got to tell you, I love them. I'm a huge fan of Jimmy Dore and Steph. Steph will be on the show, you guys, coming up soon this month. She said she wants to come with the next couple of weeks or so. We've got Ron Placone will be here this Friday, guys, at noon. Very excited. I hope Progressive News Daily joins us for that show with Ron Placone this Friday. And it's noon on the West Coast, 3 o'clock on the Eastern side. He faced 4 consecutive life sentences. Psst. Fuck them, Dottie. Fuck those motherfuckers, man. I swear to fuck. I just, I just want to, it just makes me want to strangle the Nancy Graces of the world. This bud's for you. This bud's for you too, Progressive News Daily. Really good. And we're going to be covering something that the Rational National put up. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, but he's along the lines of Graham Elwood and Ron Placone, Jimmy Dore. You get your news on with it. Get your news on with Ron. You want to know what's going on. Getting your news on today. Me too, son. I'm assuming you're a guy. I have no idea. You don't have an avatar up, so you could be a woman. I don't know. I'm sorry if you are. Or some other sort of gender that I might not know of yet. No law regarding cannabis. Cannabis isn't tis for all. This is cyber style, everybody. Cheers. Smoke along with me with this half-baked ball. We'll get this one done, and I'll pack a fresh one. Whatever's in the bowl, hon. I believe it's orange, bud, right now. But I'm going to switch to Jack Harrett. Actually, I think this is Jack Harrett. You and Ron should do a duet. Yes, we should. We already did a duet on the interview. That's right, we did. We did Get Your News On with Ron together. How did you get the name Nay? A friend of mine nicknamed me Banane years ago, and it just fell into Nay to make it easy and short. People just started calling me Nay. Happened a long, long time ago. Just shortly after high school, I got that nickname. I preferred that to Stoner Ben. You know, much, much better. So, wow, Donut Eater says, wow, just wow. What's up, Donut Eater? How's it going? Are you a police officer? Oh, what? Is that some kind of a reference to anal? Is that like tossing salads or something? Donut Eater. I don't know. I don't know these. I can't keep up with you kids today, and your terms and your sex words. Someone came the other day. That was totally Freudian, and it wasn't me. Was it a jam session with Ron? No, it was not a jam session with Ron. It was an interview with Ron on this show. And we did a duet. We did his theme song together. It was great. No, it's eating donuts. Oh, cool. That's pretty harmless then. Right on, Donut. How many people are laughing? How many people are laughing right now? Press number 5 if you're laughing right now. I want to know. If you think you're flipping right now, let me hear from you. If you think you're laughing right now, get the number 5. I don't know why I'm not getting chat numbers. It's making me sad. Whoa, 36. Whoa, I love 37. Wow. Oh, you're laughing at that. Good. I'm so glad that you guys laughed at that. If I ever make you laugh, you could just type haha. That way I know you're laughing with me. If you type ha ha, I know you're laughing with me, okay? But Tony Clifton, is that how Tony Clifton talk like that? Tony Clifton, oh, talk no tight like that, Tony Clifton. Tony Clifton's great. Progressive News Daily, well, I'm going to cover a story that the Rational National covered on his show just hours ago. There was a child that was shot by police officers. It was a call for a domestic problem. A mother was having a hard time with her autistic son, and she called the police, and they came. And within 5 minutes, they shot the boy in his back. He's hospitalized. He's still alive. Hopefully he lives. You know, but Rational National played the news report, which has the interview with the mother, and it is one of the hardest interviews of a mother talking about her child. I mean, her child is still alive, and I am so thankful for that. Yes, autistic donut eater. He was shot 5 times in the back. Look. Yeah, I believe it was on my Twitter. Yeah, it was on my Twitter, right? I'll find it, guys. I'll find it for you. But you've got to see and hear the mother speak. I mean, you don't understand the agony of this situation until you hear it from the mother. So this is from the Rational National. He's got a GoFundMe posted for Lyndon's medical bills. I will try to get that to you since he put that up in the in his comments. And you guys check.
He's a small child. Why don't you just tackle him? You are big police officers with massive amounts.
Okay. This is the Rational National on YouTube, guys. If you wanna watch him, he's a pretty serious progressive news provider, opinion and current news. I usually never talk about him on the show. It's because he's not a comedian. And I generally try to turn you guys on to people who are informative and funny. He's more of a serious guy, but I think you'll like him. I mean, even Kyle Kalinske fucking cracks me up all the time. You know, Kyle Kalinski's got a great sense of humor.
He's a small child. Why don't you just tackle him? You are big police officers with massive amounts of resources.
Police in Utah shot a 13-year-old autistic boy several times after his mother called the police because he was having a mental health episode. Now, as you're going to see from the video, she called specifically for a mental crisis call. She was expecting whoever arrived.
Now look, I've never played Rational National on here. I don't know. He's probably legit as fuck. He's probably partnered. He's probably doing monetization. He could very well be instantly copyrightable as soon as that stuff goes up. And I could be taking a big risk here. So I'm going to flip him over backwards. Just play it safe. And we'll play him a little faster. And then that should avoid the copyright issues. But, not to take away from his thing that he's got going on. Okay, now he's faster and backwards.
To de-escalate the situation, but clearly that isn't what happened. So let me show you here the report from KUTV.
Friday night in Glendale, Golda Barton called police to help her with her son.
It was less than 5 minutes. How could it have escalated in less than 5 minutes? He was running away. He was running away.
Barton says her
Dude, I just got to stop it right there. Man. Because they come back to her. And you're going to get more of that. She is completely out of control of her facial expressions. She's completely distraught. She's completely agonized over this. And you guys need to understand, when you see these people out protesting Black Lives Matter, people like Ron Placone and other people on the internet saying defund the police and things like that. And you might not give a fuck because maybe you're a racist piece of shit and maybe you don't like black people. Maybe you don't like Hispanic people. Well, you got a problem with whites too? I don't think you do you? Pay attention.
13-year-old son, Lyndon, was running from police because he was scared. He didn't want to be taken to
13 years old!
Lyndon has autism and Asperger's and was extremely upset. Barton called the police and asked for a crisis intervention team.
that knows how to deal with people with mental health issues, okay? So you call them, and they're supposed to come out and be able to de-escalate a situation using the most minimal force possible.
Telling officers her son needed to be taken to the hospital for treatment.
I said, look, he's unarmed, he doesn't have anything, he just gets mad and he starts yelling and screaming. He's a kid, he's trying to get attention, he doesn't know how to regulate.
When police arrived, her son ran away. One Salt Lake City police officer fired their weapon.
And I hear, get down on the ground, get down on the ground, get down on the ground, down, 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 down.
Police said they were responding to a juvenile psych episode and had reports that Lyndon had made threats with a weapon, but haven't yet said if a weapon was recovered at the scene. Barton says he didn't have one.
And I thought my son was dead, and they didn't tell me he wasn't dead, and they wouldn't let me go to the hospital for like a long, long time.
Lyndon is now awake, but his recovery will be an extremely long one. Barton says she takes solace in the support of a community that needs answers from police.
Why didn't they tase him? Why didn't they shoot him with a rubber bullet? He's a small child. Why don't you just tackle him? You are big police officers with massive amounts of resources. Come on, give me a break.
I don't understand what training somebody needs to know not to shoot a 13-year-old boy, let alone during a mental crisis. The mother called specifically for mental help. They sent officers who shot him. Why are there cops?
Here, let me interrupt you. Let me interrupt you, brother. Let me just say this. It's not a race problem. It's not a black on black problem. It's a problem with the militarization of our police force and the lack of education and the lack of training for the people that are supposed to be protecting that little 13-year-old boy and his mom. How's that, brother? How'd I do?
Responding to this.
Hey, you guys press number 1 if you agreed with me.
Like, when we discuss defund the police, this is what we're talking about.
Exactly.
We're not saying abolish the police. We're not saying that if your house is being robbed, you got no one to call.
Exactly.
No, we're talking about things like this.
Re-educating them.
Why are there cops responding to mental health calls when clearly they have no idea what to do? And not even don't know what to do. They almost killed him. It's amazing he's alive.
Thank you, Jay, Connor,
How
Kat.
do they think this was okay?
Thank you for agreeing with me.
And what amazes me as well is just, there has to be a big investigation. Really? There has to be an investigation? Cops shot a boy. There's your investigation.
Thank you, Doc.
What more do you need?
Thanks for all you do, Doc.
The mayor here, in a statement to the Salt Lake City Tribune, Mayor Aaron Mendenhall vowed the investigation would be quick. Let's hope so. Says, quote, no matter the circumstances,
Tammy, right there, hun. Look, naysgarden.com. It's right there. naysgarden.com. It's right there on top of the screen.
happened on Friday night is a tragedy, and I expect this investigation
Megsy,
to be handled swiftly and
Robin,
transparently for the
Dave,
sake of
Enoch,
everyone
Daniel,
involved.
thank you, all of you, for agreeing with me.
I just don't. Do cops' brains turn off
I like the way
when they're
his.
faced with a child?
I like the way the article is
Or when
behind
they're called
him.
to anything?
That's
Like,
cool.
How do you not understand to not shoot a little boy?
Huh.
There's a GoFundMe for his medical bills because again,
there it
the
is.
US has a completely insane healthcare system.
There it is.
But I'll link to this below the video. It was shared in this Guardian piece, so I know it's a legitimate
Legit.
link here.
Yeah.
So I'll share this below the video, as well as all these other links. You can go back and watch.
Oh, was this it? Did this happen in Utah? I missed that.
So while doing some research for this piece, I thought, hey, I found a video of the shooting. No, this was somebody else. So back in 2016, a graphic video released of police shooting autistic boy. So a Louisiana judge released graphic police video Wednesday from last November when 2 deputies opened on a car and inadvertently killed a 6-year-old autistic boy. So this is a bit of a different situation, but when it comes to mental health calls, this stuff happens all the time.
Man,
This is from 2018. A worried mom wanted the police to take care of her mentally.
when you run the rational at 1 speed up on YouTube, it's perfect speed. He's like talking normally, like I talk. He is a slow talker, son. Because when you listen to someone like oh man, like Ben Shapiro in 1 speed, you can't even understand what he's saying. It's like, whoa, you're not even making out words. This guy, he's totally legible. You understand every word he's saying. Legible. So, the problem is the police, and when you hear people say Black Lives Matter, when you hear people say Black Lives Matter, it's the it's white lives too, guys. Like this autistic kid. And the people who are out there marching for Black Lives Matter, they need to remember that too. That is the utmost important thing right there. Is that the people that are out in the street marching for Black Lives Matter need to remember that they're marching for this little white 13-year-old boy. And everyone that's anti-Black Lives Matter that might be a Republican or might be a Trump supporter needs to remember this one simple thing, and it's so easy to remember. Police are shooting white people too. They're shooting white children. It's a systemic problem. It's not just black people. And when the Republicans and the people leaning right and the Trump supporters say that you need to look at blacks killing blacks, that's a bigger problem. No. You need to look at police shooting fucking everybody, man. That's a big problem. And you can't really just look at domestic problems. Domestic shit's gonna happen. It's a systemic giant problem, way bigger than police brutality. Of course it is. But the police brutality is right here in front of our faces where we can see it and where we know what the solution is. I wrote a bill for Congress. Well, shit, right there it says I've written 4 of them. You can't really see it. I've written 4. And one of them, the first one, I believe, was the bill to end police brutality. It was so simple. It's not restrictive, and every police officer out there should agree with everything that I said. And was it Kamala Harris that didn't want body cams on cops? Computer. Did Kamala Harris fight against body cams for police officers?
I don't know.
You're a fucking idiot! Shut up! Blue. Make her smarter, Billy. Alright. I don't know where my phone's somewhere else. It's in the other room. Whatever. I'm gonna just type it in. What was the question? What was my question? Kamala Harris. Body cams. PBS. Oh, she began requiring body cameras. My bad. I think I have it backwards. Okay. I knew it was something about her and body cams on police officers. I thought she was against them. Kamala Harris is for body cams on police officers. I dig that. That's just facts. Though that's just facts. That the camera produces facts for evidence. It's unedited factual data can be used to prove an officer's innocence as much as a victim's. There should be required on not only all police officers, but more people out there should consider having them in their cars. It's a great topic, man. And, we've covered it plenty. He's covering it now. He said he covered it years ago. And I know I covered it back when I wrote the bill. Back in, 2017 when I wrote the bill? Yeah. So check this out. Rational National's been doing it for 4 years. He's got 315,000 subscribers on YouTube. That's how many subscribers I'd have times, well, he says 4 years, so 4 years, that's 10 years. I'd have double that. I'd have 500,000 subscribers if they weren't deleting them from me. See, if I was nice and I followed their rules and I was like the Rational National, I'd be a god on YouTube. I'd have millions and millions and millions of views on my videos. Well, what can you say? He's better than me. What can you say, man? He played their game. He played ball. He played ball. And he won. Me, I don't like to play ball. I don't like to play ball. I lose. You know, here I am with the freaking the cursing, you know, and the cannabis smoking on every frigging show, rubbing people the wrong way. People just don't like me, man. People just don't want to watch. Hey, I understand. Okay, cool. I get it. That's cool. I mean, it just would have been nice if I could have kept the ones that wanted to, you know? Stupid Lefty said, wait, what happened? What happened to what? Pigs shoot autistic. Oh, is Stupid Lefty in here? Join my live, duh. Dottie, good night. Thanks for what you do. Let me buy you a cup of coffee tomorrow. I gotta go to bed. People the wrong way makes me think. No, it's not good to rub people the wrong way. It's not good to make rub people the wrong way. No. It's not good to rub people. I disagree with that. I don't want to rub people the wrong way. At all. I want to be totally straight with people, and I want them to accept my anger and my opinion exactly how I present it to them and not be rubbed the wrong way. I don't want to be rubbed the wrong way when I hear their opinions, Dottie. At all. When someone's racist, you know, or someone is discriminatory towards other people or animals, you know, or something, you know, I don't like it. But, you know, let's just say that there's somebody out there who's racist that then when they were a little child, they were abused. And they've got problems. You know, can we say that that person exists? Well, if that one person exists, then I bet you there's a whole bunch of them out there. And it's not their fault. And if we can not rub them the wrong way, Dottie, but instead reach out to them and listen to what they're saying, and maybe in the hopes that they're going to listen to what we're saying and that we will be able to touch each other in ways in which we have not been doing, because the only ways we've been touching each other is with our fucking fists and with guns, and that shit has to stop. And I'm more than happy to lead the charge to peace. You know, I'm more than happy. You know, I was a very bad person for a very long time on the internet. You know, abusing the keyboard, being the keyboard warrior. You know, it started out with flame wars, and then when the video came, and then I was a bully, you know, and then I used it. I had a bully pulpit, you know, and I abused it, and I got, you know, tried and tried and fucking found guilty and lost a lot, you know, and it's a life sentence. Maybe it's a lifetime sentence. You know, maybe not. You know, maybe the show is about to freaking explode beyond what anybody, myself, or anyone has ever imagined, and people are just going to start coming to it when it's on. You know, maybe. Or maybe, you know, people just won't be informed when I'm live, and maybe the algorithms are too strong. You know, who knows? I try to go live at the same times. But see, that's just it. Yeah. See, people want to say, you know, we need to create discourse and have, we need to have, we need to have basically chaos before we can rein in sanity. And I don't agree with that. You know, some people are, Dottie, some people are with the, and this isn't along the lines of what you said at all, but I'm going somewhere else with it. Some people say we need to burn it all down. John Henry, I don't know what you mean by, do you like Elizabeths? I don't, is that some kind of a new sex thing that I don't know about? I don't know. Let me know. You know, is he coming in here to throw the new sex term at me that I don't understand because I'm an old man that lives on a mountaintop and sees no action ever again for the rest of his life? It was a sad existence, and it was a never-ending story. It was epic. The lack of sex in my life is epic. Am I still capable of sex? I don't know. I don't even know. I'm going down this road. Just a name. Don't expect anything from anyone, Randy. Yeah? You're growing. That's good, Randy. There are people dying, and we've got to lend a hand to love, the greatest gift of all. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we make a brighter day. Yeah, let's start giving. Ooh, let's start giving. I should do it in the voice of each person that sings in there. And Cyndi Lauper in there somewhere. We are the world. Yeah, all right. I'm going to block this guy, John Henry. Yeah. So, just so I can get back to where I was headed before I got rudely interrupted by some fucking random. Oh, are you holding your lighter up? We have an opportunity to, instead of trying so hard to win people over with our ideas, we finally have an opportunity right now to start just getting along. Well, Dottie, what if people are just set in their ways and they don't want to listen to what you have to say? Let me tell you something, Dottie. I don't know really which side you reside politically, but I found to just step away from politics completely is the best thing for everybody. Well, everybody just step away from it. And if you have your political views, fine, you know, and then you go to the voting booth and you do what you got to do. But I really don't think that we are at a point right now where discourse is changing people's votes and changing their opinions. You know, I think Donald Trump and Joe Biden are their own worst enemies, and they're going to do what they're going to do. And that's going to be what dictates who's the next president, is how these guys either fly or fail throughout, the next several months. I mean, we don't need to be engaging violently. And let me tell you something. It all starts with trying to rub each other the wrong way. I see it on Twitter. And Dottie, I'm not trying to bring you down at all. Trust me, I'm not. I'm just, I know you said you misspoke, you used the wrong terminology, but I see people doing that with memes, trying to perpetrate. We've got someone here guilty of it. One of my audience members, he had said, dude, I got blocked by Graham Elwood. Graham Elwood he's a movie producer. You would agree with me? Thank you, hon. He's a movie producer. I don't know if you know who Graham Elwood is. He's a stand-up comedian, and he's a podcaster, and he's featured on Jimmy Dore. He tours with Ron Placone, and he does so much for so many people. He's done things for me he's not even aware of, just from the movie Earbuds that he directed and wrote. But Graham, what was I going to tell you about Graham? I don't know. Something about Graham Elwood. He's great. Check him out. He was just on the show. We just had him on. We're going to have Ron Placone on this Friday. Make sure you tune in for that interview. That's going to be exciting. I can't wait. Was this about the fact that he's a stand-up comic? What was about Graham Elwood I was bringing up? Something he said. Man, I have to go back. I wish I could go back and listen to what I was. Can someone tell me where I was? Was anybody paying attention to what I was saying? Rubbing people the wrong way. People the wrong way is keep speaking your truth and don't yield to anyone. Don't yield to anyone. Right. Well, I think we might be talking about two totally different things. What I'm saying is, let me see if I can figure out why I mentioned Graham. People are going to vote how they're going to vote. I don't think that anything that anyone's going to say is really going to change a vote. I think that what Donald Trump does and what Joe Biden do over the next few months, that's going to determine more as far as voting than anything else. Graham, one of the gardeners here that watches this show and follows me on Twitter, he said, I got blocked by Graham Elwood. And I said, bro, it's like impossible. How could you get blocked by someone that follows me, that's a fan of the show, obviously, that I'm friends with, that is obviously, friends with Graham from, me talking about him and guiding you to him, obviously. Certainly you wouldn't attack someone that I guided you to. This motherfucker attacked Graham on Twitter, starts tweeting him fucking pro-Trump shit. Rubbing him the wrong way. And even Graham Elwood has a line. And when you cross it, he blocks you. And me too. I block plenty of motherfuckers on Twitter. I'll block you on Facebook. I'll block you on Messenger. I block you on fucking Twitter Messenger. I delete all your shit. Dude, you're a fucking chit-chatter. You're gone. We're not chit-chatting. You're going to realize real quick we're not chit-chatting. I've got Steph Zamorano. I've got Tim Black. I've got Lee Camp, Redacted Tonight. I've got Ron, Graham, Jimmy Dore. I've got all of them all at the top of my messenger list, just waiting for any of them to respond to anything that we might be engaged in. And I'm not there to fucking chit-chat on the messenger. When you had something legit to share with me, that's what I told you to do. I'm not fucking there for your chit-chat. Remember that, all of you. We're not chit-chatting on any messenger service. None of us are. Remember that. That's very important that you guys remember that shit. But for Graham Elwood to block somebody for that, I realize, rubbing someone the wrong way just shuts them down. Even when it's one of my fans projecting to Graham Elwood. And Graham ain't gonna fucking have it. And let me tell you, if Graham ain't gonna have it, nobody's fucking having it. Nobody's changing their fucking vote. Nobody's fucking changing their vote for you or anyone else. They don't give a fuck. Nobody cares. So what's important? Is it important who that person's gonna vote for? Or is it important that we stop fucking punching each other in the face and stop bringing guns to protests? Is it important that police stop shooting 13-year-old autistic boys in the back? And that we allow these protests to continue until they start fucking listening! Finally! Just one fucking time! It would be great if the politicians would fucking listen. I like that Kamala Harris wants to put body cams on pigs. Hey, man, every fucking pig needs a fucking body cam on them. They do. They do. And then how are they going to explain when their little cohort is, beating somebody and they're breaking their own goddamn rules and they don't want to go testify. They don't want to turn them in. They don't want to cross that fucking blue line. Cuntala. Oh, Dottie, look no further than naysgarden.com. You go watch 2 interviews with Graham Elwood at naysgarden.com. They're right there when you go there. You'll see them as soon as you go to my website. 2 interviews. Graham was just on 2 days ago. Fantastic interview. He's an amazing person. He has I generally don't believe in this shit. But he has a life force about him that beams out and projects like a fucking sun in all directions and energizes everybody that he comes into contact with. I view Joe Rogan the same way. A beaming sun that just energizes everybody. He puts out as much positivity and good information and healthy happiness, comedy, make you fucking happy, whatever is givable. Graham Elwood is a giver of the highest regard, man. And when I see people like that, when I see someone who loves making people laugh, I understand them. And he doesn't want to just make you laugh. He wants you to live. He wants you to thrive. And it's not just Graham. It's Jimmy Dore. It's Steph. It's Ron Placone. Steph Zamorano, the miserable lib on Twitter, of course. And Lee Camp. Lee Camp from Redacted Tonight. He's a comedian. He wants to make you forget about all the shit that he knows he has to tell you about. It's just like Jimmy Dore, man. Just like Ron Placone. Let me tell you what Ron Placone said at the beginning. This was crazy, okay? You want to hear a funny story? There's a little anecdotal thing for you. Check this out. Let's do a bong hit. And I've got an anecdote. And just so I don't forget it, it's about me going into Ron Placone's live stream late. And if I forget what I'm telling you after this bong rip, remind me. Say, Ron Placone's show, you went in late. Okay? All right? And then I'll tell you this whole story that I think you guys are going to get a kick out of. Ron Placone got, dude, if somebody's testing me right now, you're going to go down. I swear to fuck. Oh. You're going to go down. Dude, these are all Russian bots and fake accounts. Oh my God. Huh. Interesting. There's a lot of Russian bot. They call them Russian bots. They're not necessarily from Russia, but there's entities out there, that are totally making brand new accounts on Twitter, and a whole lot of them. And, you'll put something up there, and all of a sudden, every account that's liking your shit has 30 followers. They're following 200 people, and they've got 15 followers. It's very suspicious. Yeah, Megsy. Again, yes, again. I'll check it out. Speaking of Joe Rogan, I tried TMT the first time last week. I'm prepared now to help change the world in love. Dottie, right on. Right on. Okay, so, this is the orange bud we're going to grab. Let's see how orangey. God, man. So sweet. Orange funkiness. It's just so perfect. Such a perfect balance of that. Oh, and then when you break it open, it's all fucking citrus. Orange. Dottie, I can't wait to break open one of these orange buds for you and let you smell it. Tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning. You don't know any cute single girls, do you? I should have said gals. I'm 52. I need to start saying gals instead of girls. It seems there's a lot at this time. Right? I don't know how much an influence that really has over voting. But let them try to sway people all they want. Let them try. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. I'm not offended by it. Maybe if Twitter didn't try to algorithm people into not having voices, troll farms wouldn't exist. Because then one person would just be able to say something and, thousands of people would hear it. Anyway, I'm going to tell you a little anecdotal story, and it's about... It's just cute. You guys are going to dig it. It kind of relates to what we're talking about. It relates to climate change and facts and stuff like that. And how we perceive our reality, right? It's talking about how Ron Placone is very uplifting and wants to bring happiness and joy to everybody through his music, through his comedy, through his news and entertainment, everything that he does. Right? We're going to talk about that. Let's do this bong hit and then check this out. No law regarding cannabis. Cyber style. No law regarding cannabis. Cannabis isn't just for all. Cheers, everybody. What time do you open, Dottie? So, I saw that Ron Placone had gone live. I was out walking the dog. Actually, the phone buzzed in my back pocket. And I didn't know what it was, but I was walking the dog. I finished walking the dog. I got in. Maybe 13 minutes had gone by or something. I pulled up my phone. Ron Placone was live. I was like, oh, shit. Went right into the Ron Placone show. And I was like, oh, man, I got to go hop on my computer and start super chatting him. So there was a guy talking. He seemed a little familiar to me, and there was a reason why. and seemed like a cool dude. I was like, I didn't really catch the conversation because I was so up in my head. I was being a little narcissistic and thinking about myself, right? I wasn't paying attention. What's funny is, by the time I settled down and got my computer up, pulled his screen up on my computer and started watching, I was trying to super chat. And I started to super chat, and the conversation was going on. And then all of a sudden, I heard one of them say, yeah, it's getting, the climate, the global temperature's rising. And I was like, oh, cool, they're talking about climate. I was like, this is my fucking jams. I was so excited. And then I looked at the screen to see who the guy was, and I looked at his name. Didn't remember his name. And just about the time I did that, Ron says something about the People's Party, that he had just spoken at the People's Party. I was like, right, that was the guy that spoke at the People's Party. Right. He didn't really strike me as a science-y scientist type guy, because that's the kind of people that I like to listen to. But he had a really good basic understanding of the things that I listen to. So that much I knew. I started doing my super chatting. And I start with my, you know me, guys, with the fucking 2178 thing. I'm like, you know, climates, yeah, you know, fucking, that train's left the station, guys. I mean, you know, Thunderfoot, you guys should research Thunderfoot. He's a scientist. He says science proves that there won't be a living human being that's alive today that will ever see a drop in CO2 levels. Dude, I was putting all kinds of shit about climate because you know me, I'm a fucking climate guy. I've been studying under Dr. Guy McPherson now for several years. I'm starting to retain it all. So I start blah, blah, blah in it, right? And I'm not really thinking about Ron because I'm a fucking narcissistic bitch. But at this point, I'm like, dude is semi-making sense, but at the same time, he seems so hopeful. I'm like, I bet he's got kids or something. He seems so hopeful. And then Ron starts getting to the super chats. It's getting near kind of the end. But when he hits my first super chat, homeboy takes forever. He starts answering. He's like, that's a good question. And he said, you know, we should pull it up. You guys want to watch it? You guys want to watch the video? I'll bet you it's on fucking YouTube. We can watch the whole goddamn thing. And it'll be fun as hell. Holy shit. Then I don't have to explain this anecdotal story to you. And you guys can see it happen in real time. Ron Placone. Of course, he doesn't pop right up because YouTube sucks my dick. YouTube sucks my dick. Okay, hold on. I'm going to pull up Ron Placone here. I'm hoping that he has put up a, I'm hoping that, wow, people search Ron Placone Nate's Garden. Really? You guys are awesome. Thank you guys on YouTube for searching Ron Placone Nate's Garden. Holy shit. Okay. Why is there still so much climate change denial? LA has hottest day on record. 5:33. Climate scientist. Okay, here it is. Here's the whole video. He put the whole video up. It's an hour and 15 minutes. Okay, you guys want to see his promotion for triage oil at the beginning? We'll watch that. Then we'll go.
See what's going on.
Here.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go. Here we go.
You guys know me. I get nervous.
You know
I gotta make
me.
sure
I get nervous.
that everything's good.
I
and
got
that
a
the
little
internet has given us
swagger
another
when I
day,
talk.
And that we're
I'm
official,
Ron
and it looks like we are.
Placone. I
It
got
looks like we're
swagger.
official,
I
which is
got
beautiful.
swagger.
I have to wait
I
until I
got
physically see
swagger.
it, and I have.
He's
and I have.
swaggery.
That is beautiful.
Beautiful.
What's up, everybody? Good afternoon.
Partner.
Good evening. Good morning.
Good
Doing my
morning,
time zone
partner.
stuff. I like doing it that way. I like doing my time zone.
He does
stuff.
what he wants.
I hope you are doing well.
He does what he
I hope
wants.
you are staying safe.
He does whatever he wants.
I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I hope you had a happy holiday weekend. I hope all your dreams have come true. Really. If you got
All
dreams,
your
I hope you
dreams
crush
have
those.
come true.
Special thanks to the people who make this show possible.
Listen.
Our friends over at CT.com. Their tea kind of rules. And pick some up. You can get it wholesale now for the pandemic. They provide the tea to this show. I highly recommend the white peach tea. It's a Chinese tea. It's phenomenal. And the raspberry pecan, one of my personal favorites as well. But their teas are great. Go to zt.com, zitea.com, pick up some tea. They supply the tea to this show, and there's no reason to ever get your tea anywhere else. Our friends over at triageoil.com, TRIAGE oil.com, they make pain oil that you put on your body, and it works wonders. You guys know I've been using it on my neck, which has never been the same since a car accident I had in 2013, and this oil has done more for it than anything else has. That's not an exaggeration. So please, if you need some pain oil for your joints or if you got some sunburns, 'tis the season, this stuff works wonders. Triageoil.com, pick some up. And finally, Rare Naturals, CBD.com.
Okay, so
looking for some CBD oil you can ingest.
So fantastic, Ron Placone. Now, so he does that. I didn't see any of that. I know he does it at the beginning of every show, but I come in and I throw my questions out. So let me see when Ron's got to the super chat. This is you guys are gonna like this. Check this out. This is kind of funny. Oh, there's one of my super chats right there. Holy shit! It's showing the super chats in real time. So this is perfect. You guys are gonna see the chats as I post them. Watch. I'll read them to you too. Okay, there's the chats. Okay, and that says that's from them. That's okay. Let's go back. Let's go back in time because these chats are up when I put them up. So you can actually see at what point during the video I put the chats up, right? Chat's not changing. Huh.
And not having to.
I don't know why the chat's not changing. Huh. That's weird. I guess I got to refresh the page. Oh, or do I got to move the chat? Okay, here it is. Here it is. Thunderfoot says science proves none of us will be alive to ever see a drop in CO2 levels. Check him out. Okay, so I put that up.
Kind of pretend or give these vibes that it's, if we seem calm, if we speak, if we kind of give the science and talk about the plots and we don't give any context for what this means.
Let me find where he's talking
Policy
about.
standpoint in the United States will have to follow.
I mean, I'm not totally sure what you mean by acceptable, but it's hard for the U.S. is just such an economic and until we have to, abandon coastal cities and we have to abandon.
Oh, this is
huge swaths near the equator.
This is
Indonesia.
This is the
India,
conversation that I started right here.
South America and Central America,
Here, let me go back.
And the sense of being just, I think it would be great to feel like our country was kind of back in the game again, and that we could be proud of it.
This is it. Hold on.
Is it acceptable that other parts of the world will lead from a policy standpoint and the United States will have to follow?
Where we are now. I think one thing I hope we've learned is that we can't just be, those of us with privilege, maybe the white middle class, can't just sit on the sidelines for decades while these changes kind of gradually happen and allow I'm totally sure what you mean by acceptable, but it's and
damn.
The sense of.
And the only things that I'm proud of are things that I've always been proud of. I mean, I'm proud of a lot of the cultural.
No.
Things the United States, has done. Like a lot of my favorite music in the whole wide world was made here. And then the Violent Femmes really immortalized that.
This is before he read my question.
There's a lot of literature that I love that was made.
I think it's coming up.
Inspiring authors and activists and academics.
I think he's right about to read my question right now.
And that'll never change. That can't be taken away. But as far as what our power structure has done, I don't see very much to be proud of. There were little things here and there. There were some concessions here and there. That again, the only reason that happened was because of those movements we've been talking
Here,
about.
I'll speed it up.
And I've been proud of that. But as far as an overall, USA, I couldn't tell you. I mean,
and this is a historic moment because of the climate and ecological emergency that we're in. The decisions we make.
If you guys are still with me, press 5. Give me a high 5 if you're still with me.
Have ripples on this planet, not just for the next few decades,
all
but
of you,
for thousands of years. That's remarkable to me. That decisions over the next few years can literally set the tone of human life on this planet for generations and generations to come.
No.
So clearly, if you look at the projections and if you start to understand,
they haven't started talking about my question yet. You hear how positive, you hear how glass half full they are right now.
Abandon coastal cities, and we have to abandon, huge swaths near the equator. Indonesia, India, parts of Africa, parts of South America and Central America.
He says eventually.
Maybe Northern Australia. Just this huge band.
High five.
High five. For sure happen in our lifetimes.
It's very hard for me to say, and it still very, very much depends on what humans decide to do.
Okay.
So again,
right. Did you hear what he just said? I heard that and I laughed. I was in the kitchen listening and I was laughing. I'll never forget this. I was laughing and I felt so bad. I said, if he reads my super chat question, it's going to completely change. Wait, guys, just wait. This is going all ending up somewhere. Trust me, man. You guys have got to try to keep up with this. Okay? Watch what happens.
And we come off of fossil fuels and we destroy the fossil fuel industry. Like our lives depend on it. We can save so much damage. If we sit on our hands and just procrastinate for another decade, we're going to be well and truly fucked, my friends. And the historical moment that we're in, based on that physics, the physics of infrared photons is going up from the surface of our planet and hitting these little non-linear molecules like CO2 that start to vibrate and then re-emit that radiation back down. So that's how they act like a heat blanket. It's just basic quantum physics. It's going to keep getting worse. That's just the way I can. It's so easy to tweet about this. It's kind of sad, But you just make that prediction that things are going to get worse with 100% confidence. To be adopting Green New Deal and to be kind of focusing our nation's future around this transition and
Free
around
smoke.
this transition.
No longer regarding cannabis. Cannabis is for all.
Again,
Cheers. I'm going to try to blow as many smoke rings as I can for y'all.
And to actually make this politically feasible, we need a just transition. It's the right thing to do, but it's also just the practical thing to do. It's the thing that'll work. But that's historic. And I want our nation to be on the right side of history. I want all the universities to divest and get on the right side of history. I want climate activists to stop flying in planes because they will eventually once they realize just how.
I was rolling my eyes.
One of the first things we should probably stop doing is stop with all the flying, just because we don't really need it. Like now we know that with this lockdown, humans lived fine and did their thing fine before we had planes. It's just to me, it's just such a frivolous thing, and it's so symbolic of our lack of will, both at the individual and at the collective level, to really to make changes, right? So, but anyway, we all need every level, individual, city, state, federal, international. I want to see everyone get on the right side of history because that side, what the right side is just so clear now.
Well, what about touring performers like me? Because they actually have no air travel. That's
here. I laughed at him. Look,
but
that was
is less the key, or
that was uncomfortable as fuck. Okay, look, Ron Placone said, "What about touring performers like me?" And the guy didn't take him seriously. He thought he was joking. He was like, "Oh yeah, touring performer, like you're." Yeah, he tours all over the fucking world, bro, and the fact that you didn't know that is insane. Yeah, he's a touring performer. That's why Ron's not laughing at all, because his life has completely changed, man, and it's not good. He needs to be on a stage, man. He's like, it's like if, this is my thing, man, sitting on the podcast thing, doing me, this is it. So I'm always, when COVID hit, I just kept doing my thing. So I'm on my game, right? His thing is going on stages and entertaining people in nightclubs, man, and he's not able to do that right now. And it's like putting a bird in a cage, man. It's like putting a bird that should be outside flying around in a fucking cage, man. You know? That's why he's not laughing at all. And that guy just didn't get it, you know? He wasn't trying to be funny. He was being completely serious. That was really hard for me to watch. This is right when I sat down in front of the TV right here.
Or should we start getting better with boats?
We should definitely start getting better with boats. We should change how we how we value travel. You know, it should be seen as very precious. If you want to go to Europe, you know, if you get on a boat, you're going to stay there for a few months instead of just a weekend, and that's okay. And I want to see remote technology get into the 21st century. I think this is still what we're doing right now. Video calling is still 20th century technology, basically. You know, how much better can we make this? Can we make it faster? Can we have virtual reality? You know, can we make it so that it's closer to being there in person? I don't know, but the bottom line is, you know, however good we can make alternatives to flying, you know, the reason I think it's so symbolic is because we have to start to realize that this is a big enough emergency, and the damage that we're doing now is irreversible. It's permanent. It's going to be very hard to, or possibly, I think it might be impossible to suck the carbon we've emitted out of the atmosphere and to, you know, revive the coral reefs that are dying. I mean, how are we going to do that?
You hear that?
There's a quote from you know, I can't remember who said this, but you can't take an iceberg that breaks off and you take a rope and bring it back to the ice sheet. You know, this stuff's irreversible. And when we fly today, and I know this is a contentious thing to say,
he's contradicting himself, guys. He just said we can't. Did you guys hear the hypocrisy here? His glass is half empty, half full, half empty, half full. It's so confused. He's literally got a glass and the water is fucking hovering above the glass. It's because it's so confused. It's like, is it half empty? Is it half full? I don't know, bro, man. Make up your fucking mind. Dude, he's like, we could stop it. We could do it. And then he's like, there's absolutely nothing we can do to stop this. It's fucking, dude, it's over. And then he's remembering something. And look, he's remembering something. And we're going to get to it. And then you guys are going to be like, oh, then you guys are going to be like, oh, fuck, nay, no way. Just wait. It's a huge buildup. Remember, I came into the show late. Remember? Okay, watch.
Life or death emergency, most of them agree. The people who think that it's pretty urgent, it's one issue among many, they probably disagree. But I think that it's enough of an emergency.
Sweet Afghani delicious.
Kind of priority, that we shouldn't be flying anymore, basically. I don't know how else to say it. To me, it just feels like if I got on a plane now, I'd feel like I was somehow stealing from my children and from other people's children and from other creatures on this planet that are innocent in a really repugnant way. So I can't do it personally. And obviously I know this isn't going to fix the problem. I never said that not flying was a solution. It just irks me to see people who should know better still
okay, fair enough.
It's one of those things. Like if you really know better and you know this is an emergency and you're still flying around, the message you're sending to the public is that maybe it's not such a big deal. Maybe we can continue business as usual. And we haven't passed that threshold where we have to change everything because it's so serious, right? And that's what I want to see. I want to see us reach this place where we all kind of collectively realize, oh yeah, the fossil fuel industry, revoke that social license. It's not okay anymore for them to just keep producing this stuff that we then burn and put in the atmosphere. That's not okay anymore. Revoke that social license and reach this social tipping point where we say, yes.
No law regarding cannabis. Cannabis isn't tips for all. You guys are going to love this.
Policies. We're willing to
cyber style. Cheers.
Because the alternative is going to be even more expensive. So
Liz, he's going to read the super chat now.
If you were asked to do a conference in London, you would either, would you get on a plane then, or would you take a boat?
Well, so I was asked to do a conference in London for The Economist, and before the lockdown, I was like, yeah, I'll do it if you let me present remotely. And they actually said yes, which was remarkable. Because I've had other invitations where I said I'll do it if I can present remotely, and they said no. And and now of course the whole thing is virtual. So no, I would if I I got a family, and I probably it would take a lot to get me to take a boat to Europe unless they came with me, maybe just because it would be such a long time. But I could see doing it. I'm a sailor. I love the ocean. I get seasick for the first day. I throw up, and then I'm good to go after that. I get my sea legs. And then I love being out there. 70% of our planet is water, and it's kind of an amazing way just to spend time with the planet to be on the deep ocean. And I wish more people would experience it, because I think they would get more of a sense that this is kind of a precious pale blue dot. We're in our little air conditioned offices with our grocery stores, and everything's so like tame that you forget that we're on this planet with these systems that that block ultraviolet from us and keep everything the right temperature and provide us with clean air and water. And without that stuff, we would die in like a few minutes, right? So it's easy to forget that. And when you're out on the ocean, you kind of remember, which I think is a wonderful thing. But I used to say, I spoke at Bernie's Climate Crisis Summit back in November, which was in Iowa, and I took the train to that. It was worth it to me to spend 4 days on a train to go from Los Angeles to Iowa City. And then back again.
Ron's gonna rein him in right here.
So yeah, I view travel different.
Rein him in, Ron. Rein him in, Ron. Watch Ron's technique.
Virtually, it was nice. If the People's Convention had been on the
Gives
East
him a
Coast,
nod,
and they wouldn't, and they if it was in person and they wouldn't allow me to present remotely, I probably would have said no to that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's in a weird way, the lockdown
interjected
has kind of put me on more of a level playing field in terms of being able to participate in things like that.
giving him a smile.
So
boom. Raining them in.
Where do you think adaptation falls into all this? Like I know, you were mentioning how occasionally certain things get like mainstream attention more so than others, and one of the pieces that, and I don't know why this got all the mainstream attention it did. I read it. I thought it was an interesting piece. Was the deep adaptation piece, where the gentleman talked about basically how adapting is like the biggest key, while still, altering our behavior completely. Like I think he called for all the same changes.
I've adapted, baby.
We also have to adapt.
I've adapted.
We're not gonna quote unquote stop climate change.
I've adapted.
The only option is adapting, and it's not an impossibility if we act.
Yeah, well, we have to accept that it's here now. It's not a future thing. We ask anyone in Los Angeles who was outside in that 120-degree heat, right?
No kidding.
It is here now. We're at about 1.1 degrees Celsius of warming, somewhere between 1 and 1.2 degrees, depending on sort of where you set that pre-industrial baseline, which is kind of a tricky thing to work out. But it's here. I think we already are adapting. I mean, there's been discussions about how we do electricity in California, and should we be living in forested areas that are prone to wildfires? And I keep waiting for real estate in Miami to collapse. I don't really see them adapting a lot down there, but I don't know why anyone will buy real estate there at this point. So I think we're going to start seeing people moving away from the coasts. We're going to start seeing different crops being planted. That's adaptation. And then we're going to see kind of more and more adaptation. We need both. We need all of the above. We
don't have time for adaptation. That's what he's doesn't realize.
One of the things that frames
there's no time. We're not going to be able to adapt.
To get through this with any degree of grace and love and humanity. Although now I'm not even sure what that word humanity means anymore. But to get through this with grace, we're going to need to fight for people we don't know. We're going to need to come together. We're going to need empathy. We're going to have to stop with this nonsense of like, I just care about me, right? And I don't care about anyone else, which is, this kind of, I think American individualism has kind of gotten.
Look, let me help.
That direction.
Let me help. Yeah, we need to, but we won't. Go on.
In an unfortunate way. But what concerns me is that we could very well head in the opposite direction as resources become more scarce, as people start to try to move toward the poles because it's just too damn hot.
Make me a splash of hot chocolate.
The water systems are failing.
Just a splash of hot chocolate.
They're going to start moving toward the poles, which means, the United States is start getting more and more migrants coming up through the southern border. Canada is going to start to see more people starting to come up. Similar thing in Europe, in Asia. And, I think that could very well lead to more people saying, getting afraid, saying we don't have enough, we can't share, and we want to put up more walls, we want more military. And it could get real ugly. I don't know how to fight against that. But I think this is just a weird, frightening place for humanity to be at right now. And, I desperately hope that we can find our better selves and, be courageous, not roll ourselves into little frightened balls that buy up guns and just it just could get so bad. And I'd love to I got 2 kids and I don't want them to ever get shot at. I don't want them to ever have to shoot at anyone.
Rein them in, Ron.
Food. And I want that for everyone on this planet, even people in other nations. And
Rein him in, Ron.
I'm seeing authoritarianism rise throughout the world, and I haven't read a lot of studies that
he's
necessarily
rambling.
connect that to global heating, but it feels to me, my instinct is that there is a connection there, and there are a lot of studies that show just when cities have heat waves, violent crime goes up. People go insane when things get too hot.
Adaptation, and now we're talking about crime goes up in heat waves.
Violent tendencies, and
Bro, this guy's all over the place.
This might be the most important moment that our species has ever confronted. It could well be. Because,
no, it's not the most important moment
we
ever confronted.
We just have to.
We're already dead.
This culture, this
fucking crazy.
colonial extractivist culture.
Right now the glass is half full, guys. The glass is, just so you know,
the
water knows it's half full.
Thinking like we can just take what we want and kill other species and use them for our purposes and extract labor from people that don't look like us, and to me it's insanity, and it hurts so much to see this. And it's like, how do we wake up out of this? I'm not sure. I mean, I think it's like a spiritual awakening, really, that has to happen, and it's a pretty heavy lift.
Yeah, indeed. Where can people go to learn more about you?
So I tweet at Climate Human. I have a website, peterkelmis.net. I have a book that came out a few years ago called Being the Change, Live Well and Spark a Climate Revolution. And my publisher, New Society, let me put the whole thing up on my website for free. So if you want to read it, you can look there.
Awesome. peterkelmis.net. Do you want to stick around for some questions from the audience?
Sure, why not?
All right. So, Sparky, thank you very much for the Super Chat contribution. You keep the show on the air. Does the term fossil fuel mean a government free from Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden? Ha ha ha. All right, this question is for you, Peter. I think you can field this better than I can. This is also from Sparky. What does he think about Gen 4 reactors replacing fossil fuels? Gen 4 can't melt down and consume spent fuel rods from antique nuke plants. You're going to have to field that.
Well, so it's funny that you asked that. Early on in what I kind of refer to as my climate awakening, kind of waking up to how urgent this is, I had a thorium phase where I literally went to Oak Ridge National Laboratories and got a whole bunch of plans from the molten salt thorium reactors from the 1960s and read them. I'm like, this is amazing. They were so close. The thing is now, I just don't think it's fast enough to make a huge difference. I don't oppose it, and I think it's foolish to shut down nuclear plants that are still well within their
Okay, here we go. He's gonna hit my question now.
Early.
Now,
but, permitting nuclear plants now, and the
watch the whole mood of this podcast change suddenly. Watch
the way society. It's just hard to get them through now. I think it's much easier to get the same amount of kilowatt or megawatt or gigawatt generation through renewable than it is through nuclear now. So I'm not opposed to it, but I just don't. I think it's a little bit of a barking up the wrong tree, because we need something like in the next few years, not just in the next few decades.
All right. Nay, thank you very much for the very, very generous Super Chat contribution. Thank you so much. Please share this video on all of social media. Sparky, a Ventura McKinney ticket. What do y'all think? Ventura McKinney ticket. What do y'all think? Nay, what's up? Thunderfoot says science proves none of us will be alive to ever see a drop in CO2 levels. Check him out. I hope that's not the case. Is that the case, Peter?
That's likely the case, because unless we do figure out a way to suck the CO2 out of the atmosphere that we've already emitted, it stays up there for decades. So it's like it's going up. Then it'll be this even if we reduce as quickly as we can, it's like this sine wave, and it will gradually start to come down. But I think that the period, I suppose it's possible for somebody who's just being born now, they might start to see
I need Thunderfoot to see this.
Start to go down. But I don't expect to see that. I expect to see global emissions go to zero in my lifetime. But just the atmospheric load, the accumulated CO2 in the atmosphere, I would be surprised if I saw that go down in my lifetime.
I think all of us are going to see global emissions go to zero in our lifetimes. I think all of us are going to see that, if you know what I mean.
unless we have like a massive scaled up CO2 capture, which the problem with that is super expensive.
Hey,
basically.
Dave.
So we've run our entire economy for a couple hundred years on this almost free stuff that we took out of the ground and burned.
Mm-hmm.
And to run that backwards basically means we have to pay for everything in reverse. Like all of those economic benefits, we kind of have to pay that back. It's like we took out this loan from the planet, and we effectively have to pay it back by kind of running those thermodynamic processes in reverse. So you could do it, but you would take infrastructure maybe on the order of 10 times, what we have right now for extracting the fossil fuels. And that's a pretty heavy thing to burden our kids with, because they're going to be the young people today, 10 years from now and 15 years when they get in power, think of the climate supercharged hurricanes they're going to be dealing with, or the heat waves they're going to be dealing with, the wildfires, the migrations, all of this stuff that we're
I have
starting
his
to see
name
now,
covered. I'm sorry.
and the economic costs that go with it. The percentage of GDP, and I think one of the things we need to do is get away from GDP and get away from a growth addicted economy, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But the fraction of their economy that they're going to have to devote just to surviving with
the question
all of this
was,
crazy stuff that they're
are any of us going to be
and
around
then
to see a
add
drop
this
in
huge
CO2
additional
levels?
burden
That was the
to pay for
question.
pulling carbon back from the air. It just seems unlikely to me that will ever be economically feasible.
There we go.
So
he reined himself
so
in.
yeah, I don't think it's likely that you or I will see atmospheric CO2 fractions reduce in our lifetimes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sparky, when Dad was 12 in 1939, his job was loading 16 tons of coal. I could never convince him there was clean coal. He had to scrub every day. Nay, here's another question. Thank you very much for all your Super Chat contributions, y'all. You really think we have time? California just reached the most acres burned in a season ever before the 2 hottest months still to come. The trains left the station. Plant a garden.
Yeah, well, I mean, we just surpassed 2 million acres burned, and it's early September, and we still have 3 months of fire season left, since now fire season goes until December, and we already surpassed 2018, which was the previous record for acres burned. I think unfortunately for a lot of these ecosystems, the train probably has left the station. That's what I was thinking this morning. Is a lot of
it's getting pretty depressing, isn't it?
We take for granted as forested areas.
Wait till you guys get the cherry on top, man. Just wait around. It's worth it. Stay up, man. Stay up and wait. It's worth it.
In Southern California and the San Gabriel Mountains.
Because right now, I'm like this.
But as far as
I'm so proud of myself for coming up with good questions,
this
right?
planet is still, despite all this craziness, it's still an amazing place. I mean, if you compare it to Mars or Venus or any of the exoplanets that we see, this is still the only place we know that has life in the universe, and it still has clean air.
Did you tell Elon Musk this? Does he know?
It's just so weird to me how
Obviously not.
I think there's a lot of people out there who genuinely think they can escape to Mars, which it's another one of those things that makes my head explode. It's so far from the kind of land of practicality that it's probably its own kind of denial, and you can't reason with this. But yeah, it's still far easier. Look, if we can't deal with climate, with global heating on this planet, where we have every advantage, I mean, how do you possibly think you could terraform another planet? It's just absurd. Yeah, if we come through this and we figure out how to live well on this planet, then talk to me about living on some other planet, because it's a million times harder.
If we come through.
The thing is, what we have to understand is it's important, as frightening as this is, not to descend into doom and despair.
He's still answering my question.
It's not like a switch that you flick.
You really think we have time?
It's not a switch like that. It's this continuum where things get worse the more we emit. So we have to the more we minimize, the better off we'll be. It's a continuum of suffering. So
let's just try to ease away from the "we're fucked" level of the thermometer.
Yes,
let's
please.
try to. We're never going to be
Placone.
completely away from the "we're fucked"
I almost
level.
Ron Placone.
We're going to be better off.
Yeah, so no matter how bad it gets, I urge everyone to keep fighting. I think we need 1 billion climate activists. I want to see people on the street. I don't want to see little polite marches. I want to see, people, yelling outside of politicians' homes and banging down the doors of their offices and holding them to account and taking direct action and getting involved with Extinction Rebellion, and Sunrise Movement. I don't want polite activism anymore. I want 1 billion really angry, really fearless climate activists out there making a difference, no matter how bad it gets.
So we got a few more questions. Some of them I have no clue how to answer. Nays, first of all, thank you very much. $50 for Lucy. If you please keep sharing large groups on Facebook. Thank you. That will get Lucy a lot of cat trees, and I appreciate it very much. Nay, you also say thumbs up for new strings on Ron's guitar. That's a fair criticism. It is time for me to switch the strings out. Thank you very much. I owe ya. Nay, you also recommend interviewing Dr. Guy McPherson. Is that the guy who says we have 5 years left? Is that who that is?
Yeah, so he's the near-term human extinction guy.
My third question, guys. Here we go.
Yeah,
third question.
This is a weird quibble. So I don't personally believe that, I kind of think humans are sort of like cockroaches, and it's, we might have to abandon the coasts and...
There we go. There it is, right there. See? So this is what's going to tie it all in right here. He is a glass half full kind of guy that's got nothing but half empty shit to talk about, right? Pay attention and watch and wait till I show you. Wait till you get the fucking punchline. Are people leaving? No, good. Wait for this punchline. You won't regret it.
And the equator, which will suck. That's not a.
We're gonna smoke a bong hit.
But there's parts of the planet, I think, that
a bong hit with some oil on top for the punchline.
A long time, and I think we will adapt and move to those places.
I gotta clear this out. Cheers.
Of us anymore.
Top of the hour.
We might not have a really snazzy global civilization that has, some pretends at least
true
to
black
have justice. It could be samurai warriors and warlords again. I don't know, and serfs and fiefdoms.
Mad Max.
So I don't know what's going to happen. But it's very hard for me to think that all of humanity will go extinct, especially in 5 or 10 or whatever, however many years in the near future. The reason I don't really enjoy having this discussion is because I really think that we should set the bar a little higher than not going extinct.
How funny is that? Let's set the bar. Let's set the bar higher. Hey, let's set the bar higher. Let's set the bar higher.
That we will go extinct. But
hey. Everyone listen to Peter here. Okay, look. We're just going to set the bar higher. Okay? We're setting the bar higher. Look at the expression on Peter's face. We're setting the bar higher because we're just not going to go extinct. So instead of extinction being the bar, a few of us kicking sand around on a fucking flaming planet that's about to go completely extinct with no resources or technology left for them to ever get off of the fucking planet, right? He thinks that somehow when all the technology goes away, all of the CO2 is going to just melt away. That's what he thinks. The CO2 is going to melt away and people will thrive on an Eden-esque type. Look at Ron Placone's face. Look at Ron. He's like, this is what you offer me, really? Just wait, guys. We're not there yet. Just wait.
But I don't like being the guy arguing that. I don't want anyone to think that means this is okay, because it isn't.
Well, somebody who, as a friend of mine who's a marine biologist, he said that, there's pretty much scientific consensus that we can safely conclude that in 50 years, we're not going to recognize this place. We're going to be looking at an entirely different world. He said that's a safe assumption to make.
I agree with that. That is a safe assumption. Yes.
Well, and me in my panicked pleb mode, I was like, well, is it going to be better? And he just goes, Ron, what do you want me to tell you? I don't know if it's going to be better or worse, man. I just know it's going to be different, and it's up to us to do the best we can. And I was like, well, That's fair. That's fair. I can't ask for anything more than that. Sparky says we should all speak to Bill Nye. He lives in my neighborhood. Yeah, he lives in Pasadena. Yeah. It's just a political football for the Dems. Yep, for everybody. Nays, what's up, buddy? Thank you so much for all your generosity today. I appreciate it so much, man. You help keep this show alive. APAB, I don't know what that means. All politicians are bad. That makes sense.
All politicians are bad.
People, let me teach you. My only option is cement, buddy, or I would really take you up on that. I'd love to plant a garden, but I don't live in an area where that's really possible for me. You ships rode by former oil execs, says Sparky. That's funny. Politicians exchange climate change for COVID. Yeah, I guess as far as, I guess you can say, they kind of stopped talking about climate change.
I think that might be.
I can see that. Cheers, diversity is the key to life. Thank you, Dan. Thank you very much for your generous Super Chat contribution. Brent has a question. Thoughts on PG&E and Australia's Hornsdale projects using megapack lithium-ion technology taking coal plants offline?
Oh, wow, great question.
Now. You guys ready for the punchline?
There's a lot of pushback about lithium.
I was so proud of myself for coming on Ron's live stream and having all of this useful information for their conversation. Now, do you guys want to see what I missed at the very beginning? Watch this.
My neck, which has never been the same since a car accident I had in 2013, and this oil has done more for it than anything else has. That's not an exaggeration. So please, if you need some pain oil for your joints or if you got some sunburns, 'tis the season. This stuff works wonders. Triageoil.com. Pick some up. And finally, rarenaturalscbd.com. If you're looking for some CBD oil you can ingest, you can put it under your tongue. You can put it in your drink. It's great after an intense workout to relax yourself. It's great if you're just feeling stressed out and you want to mellow out a little bit. For some folks, it helps you sleep. For me, I like it best if I kind of feel a headache coming on. It really helps a lot with that. Or if I just feel really tense, like, I'm tense. The world around me is going to shit. This helps out. So rarenaturalscbd.com. That's with an S, rarenaturalscbd.com. Best part is, use the promo code Lucy at checkout and get 30% off your order. Boom! Promo code Lucy, Lucy at checkout. Get 30% off your order. Again, that's rarenaturalscbd.com. All right, without further ado, so, guys, as you know, over the weekend we had the hottest day ever, literally ever, on record.
Here it comes.
In Los Angeles, where I live. It was
I'm going to pack a big fat freaking bowl.
Baby. And something's going on.
True Black.
Something's going on. Well, we're lucky
with
because today
oil on top.
We're going to break it down. I had the
privilege
of
meeting
this gentleman.
You ready?
At the People's Convention the other week. We both presented at the People's Convention. He is a climate scientist and author, and he works for the NASA Jet Propulsion Lab. However, he is speaking on his own behalf today. Please welcome to the show, Peter Kalmus. Peter, how are you?
Hey, Ron.
He's a rocket scientist,
Thanks
everybody.
for being here. So here's the headline here, just so folks know, this is literal. Los Angeles hits 121 degrees, or $120 as I put it. I underestimated it slightly. The county's hottest day ever on record, because something's happening with the climate. Peter, you are a climate scientist.
Here it is.
The first question I really want to ask anybody in your profession is just, please tell me we're going to be okay.
Now, I am so sorry, Ron. I didn't know that you wanted someone to come on the show and tell you it was going to be okay, bro. I missed the beginning of the podcast. I felt so shitty because you know what I did as soon as the podcast was over. I had to go see the beginning because he always pimps out the triage oil. So I watched it, and I got to this point, and a little part of me died inside. It fucking died. If you guys are laughing right now, high five. High five. High five. High five. If you're laughing, if you guys are laughing right now, high five. High five. Look, Frankie's giving me a high five. Thank you, Frankie. Frankie McDowell, my own TV station. Skinny Nova Scotia. Be prepared. High five, Randy. Thank you, Randy. Thank you. Five. High five. Give me a high five. High five. Who else is gonna give me a high five? High fives? Who give me the high five? Give me a five. Just Jay. Jay, give me a five. Give me a five. Five into 15, five. 5 into 15, 55, 5 into 15, 5. 5 and 555, 5 into 5,000, 55, 5. 5 into 15, 5, 5 and 555, 5 and 15,000, 5, 1,555 million, 15, 5. 5, come on, folks, give me them fives. How many more fives can I get? Let's just see. We got Randy Church, we got Just Jay. We got Just Jay, give me a high five. We got Doc Holland with the ha-ha. We got Megzy Williams on the 5. We got Shelly Halliday Swift with the 5. We got Shelly Halliday Swift with the 5. We got Shelly Halliday Swift with the 5-0. 5-0. Hawaii 5-0. You thought I'd forget the chord change. I'd never forget the chord change. Yes, there was a chord change. We gotta move it up about a third. I've never seen that before, though, right? I've seen every episode. What are you talking about? Unreal, pal. Everybody's seen Hawaii 5-0. Get out of here with that. Look, I'm going to set this on fire with this lighter. If it catches on fire, I'm going to let it burn because that's the point, isn't it? We want them to catch on fire. I hope you guys liked my joke. I know it was a long, long journey, but if you liked my joke, then go ahead and tweet it at Ron Placone. You can tell him to watch this video and tell him that I created an epic joke in his honor, and I hope that he liked it. I wrote an epic joke. I had to walk you guys so far. Man, there was 21 people, man. I was just thinking about it the whole time. I'm like, I am in a swamp, right? And I've got a rope around me, and I got 21 people on a raft, and you guys are all up dry, nice, and I'm just trudging through the swamp, and I'm going to get you there, man. I'm pulling you to the other side. I'm going to get you there. I'm thinking the whole time, I'm going to get these 21 people there, and I'm watching the number, and I'm thinking to myself, is it really 21 people? It could be 6 people, and I wouldn't even freaking know, right? I'm like, I'm still going. I'm thinking it's 21. I'm going. We're going, baby. We're doing this joke. And when we get to the end, we're going to smoke this bong rip, and it's going to catch on fire, and it's going to be freaking awesome. That's all I was thinking about. I was like, I got all these people here. I got to hook it up, son. What, Sean? I got to hook it up, Sean. What, Sean? I got to hook it up, Sean. What? What, Sean? Look. I know how to set this up, pal. Unreal. Nobody sets it up right anymore, pal. Unreal. Nobody knows how to do the setup anymore, pal. Unreal. What, are you going to make the chat full screen? What, are you going to move your freaking camera too, pal? Unreal. Who do you think you are? What, are you in a blue tint there, pal? You could probably fix that if you wanted to, pal. Unreal. Nobody even fixes it anymore, pal. Nobody does it like that anymore. What, are you going to move your picture now? And not the chat? Nobody does that. Nobody even does that anymore, pal. Unreal. You're unreal, pal. Why don't you make it smaller, pal? Look, you're making a mess. Look at you, pal. You're ruining the moment. You're ruining the moment! Nay, why are you ruining the moment? Because I'm OCD. I'm a OCD. I'm just trying to figure out where I want the chat. Right there. Nobody does that anymore, pal. What is that on your BlackBerry? What are you listening to this from your BlackBerry? Unreal. Like I said, I'm going to try to set this on fire. But you know what? Nobody does that anymore, pal. Frankie's supposed to be over here, pal. Everybody knows that. Everybody does. Unreal. What, are you going to knock the bowl over, pal? Nobody even does that anymore, pal. Not even on my worst day, pal. Unreal. It's unreal, pal. What do you think this is, a podcast? Psst, unreal. Cyber style, no longer regarding cannabis. Cannabis isn't just for all. Cheers, everybody. This should be massive. Nobody even holds the hits anymore, pal. Psh, unreal. Nobody even does it like that. Nobody even does it like that anymore, pal. Psh, what are you playing your guitar on a podcast, pal? Psh, unreal. What are you not gonna let your dog sleep even, pal? Psh, unreal. What do you think he's listening to every word you say, pal? You know he is, pal. Psh, unreal. What are you knocking your hat on the floor? What are you gonna let your dog eat that hat, pal? Psh, nobody even does that anymore, pal. Psh, unreal. Chakas, Magaski, Magreta, Maggie. Unreal, pal. Had a crazy sound going, huh? Tone, baby. I should stand up. Yeah. Crazy fucking crazy sound. took me somewhere else. Johnny Clueless was there with his simulated wood grain. Simulated wood grain. And so I pulled up a chair, started drinking by myself. 3 straight days. 3 straight days. Yeah, yeah. No matter what it takes, I gotta make it through. Ooh, 3 straight days. Yeah. I laid down for a while and I woke up on the ocean, floating on my back, staring at the grave. Well, I completely still, self-bound to my heart. It was bringing me back to life from 3 strange days. 3 strange days. 3 strange days. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. God, I don't think I've touched the Hey, Frankie, can I put your arm down, brother? You're posable, right? Cool. He's like, sure, no problem, brother. He's like, you want a hot dog? I'm like, no, I'm cool. I'm cool. He's like, you want 50 hot dogs? Because I'll feed you 50 hot dogs really fast. No, that's cool, son. That's cool. I'm good. I'm good. I like playing with the different sounds I can get out of this amplifier now that I've got these new tubes. myself in. Hurts pretty tight. Goes every night. But now I might be mistaken. ZZ Top solo and you're playing fucking pitch harmonics. This be a good sound for Stones. Turn the volume up a little bit. play some Electric Light Orchestra. I've never played this song before in my life. I'm just trying to figure it out. It's funny though. It kind of sounds like it. It's one of the coolest scales. Oh my god, it's so easy to play. So once you learn a scale, you do a little exercise over it. It's really easy to do, but once you learn the pattern, so I'm just going to remember this pattern. This will help you learn the scale. You can listen to me play scales? Really? Cool. I've got a new fan then. Because the more scales I play, the better guitar player I'll become, that's for sure. My technique will become That is a great fucking bass line. That's from Jimi Hendrix song. Jimi Hendrix loved those notes right there. I know some things that he did, like this. He used to go like this. This is one of his things. That is a Jimi Hendrix lick right there. You want to hear some more? I know some Jimi Hendrix licks. You know, this is one of the most popular ones. The hammer on double stop. You probably listen to Hey Joe, it's probably in that. Maybe not. It's not in Hey Joe. How's that go? It goes. Hey Joe, it goes. Instrumental stuff that Jimi Hendrix did. I mean, I don't mind any of the singing stuff either, but I mean, I loved some of the instrumental stuff though too. He was just like mumbling lyrics on that one. He's like, some fucking off shit. He did some fucking new shit that nobody could understand. Is that a song? A Nirvana song? That's a Nirvana song? Bow, bow, bow. Fuck you, Don Henley. Fuck you, Don Henley. Fuck you, Don Henley. Fuck you, Don Henley. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 bow. Bow. How'd that motherfucker sing and play drums at the same time? I don't know. Fucking crazy shit. I got to go. I got to go. I'll see you later. Check out my friend Ron Placone. Check out my friend Ron Placone, okay? He's awesome. Check out Graham Elwood, Ron Placone, Steph Zamorano, Jimmy Dore, and Lee Camp. Don't forget any of them. Bye, y'all.